Everyone, excited to be back for this week's edition of Frequently Asked Questions for Commercial Real Estate. In today's video, what I want to do is talk about an idea, which is extremely important if you are looking to become a relevant commercial real estate broker in your local market. And that is, what strategies can you implement to become a local real estate expert? So again, in order for you to become a high-performing commercial broker in your local market, you have to be able to showcase your expertise in the local market. And so in today's video, we're going to explain several strategies that you can employ to essentially become the go-to expert in your market. Now, before I end this video, I'd greatly appreciate if you can like and subscribe to this channel. It really does help with the YouTube algorithm and ensures more and more people can hear this message and learn about the many facets of commercial real estate. So now you've done that, go ahead and like and subscribe below. Let's go ahead and dive into this episode. All right, so this video, we're going to explain the strategies that you can employ to become a local expert in your market. And first and foremost, to become a local expert, you have to be able to understand what the existing inventory is, what the recent comps are as far as sales and leases are concerned. And the only way you can do that is to review your local commercial real estate listing platform on a daily basis. Look at the properties that have been listed, try to get a feel for how they compare to the existing inventory. Over time, as you start to look at these different listings, you start to see these sales comps, you start to look at lease deals that are being completed and the lease rates that are being achieved, you'll start to get a feel for different types of property around town. You'll start to get a feel for what price per square foot ranges are for different areas based on condition. You'll start to get an idea of what the lease rate ranges are so that as you start coming across more opportunities, you can be strategic about how you price it or the expectations that you set with potential landlords or sellers to kind of give them an idea of what exactly a range would be for their property. So the first and foremost thing you need to do is become a true expert in available inventory, comps for both sales and leases. And the only way to do that is to actively review your commercial listing platforms on a regular basis to make sure that you stay up to date. So that's number one. Number two is creating reports and sharing them with others in a readable format. So one of the best ways to access some of these reports, you can access them obviously from your commercial listing service. Sometimes they have reporting functionality that you can pull to be able to share with a broader audience. There's a lot of other platforms like CRE and CoStar and other platforms that have functionality to be able to pull reports. But once you have that data available to you, you can create templates in Canva or some other platforms that can make it look more pleasing visually. So I do that all the time where I create these different visuals that I could share online to say, oh, these are the average lease rates for different parts of town. And then you can, make a beautiful image to be able to share with that. I create videos that highlight different areas of town based on, whatever the lease rates are or comps are. And that's all based on the reports that I'm extracting from these different platforms. So the second piece of information that I would recommend is to extract reports from these different platforms and then create compelling images or videos or whatever else to explain that information in real time. So that's number two. Number three is to create a monthly newsletter. This is something that I implemented several years ago, and I've gotten much positive feedback as a result. With your newsletter, you want to be able to present a few things. One is local and national news pertaining to commercial real estate. That's what I do, at least, especially the local news, because a lot of people like to read about synopsises of things that are going on in your local market. I usually provide some form of analysis of what's going on in our economy or the local economy, and then maybe even some of the national economy, just very high level on the newsletter. And then at the end, I share stats. So similar to what we talked about regarding the reports, you could extract some of these reports and then put them in a visually pleasing format on your newsletter to talk about the average lease rates, average sales price, number of existing inventory, total volume, within a quarterly or within a month or a quarter or whatever else. And then you share some recent comps. So you share sales comps, lease comps. Maybe you have featured properties, which would include your listings to be able to market for your clients. And then if you have any other content that you're producing on a regular basis, whether that's YouTube or podcast or whatever else, you can include that in your newsletter as well to help build exposure and showcase to the world that you, in fact, are an expert in what you do. And so, regarding a newsletter, I would highly encourage you to check out Canva. You can create a really nice and visually appealing newsletter template. And then once you have that template, all it is plug and play. So I got to a point where I could literally develop my newsletter within 30 minutes, as long as I could extract the proper information and then include it in the newsletter from start to finish to get it ready to be distributed. You're talking between, let's call it 30 to 60 minutes of time. So it can be a very, very useful tool. People will comment about it. I have people that I run into just randomly at different events that talk about my most recent newsletter and how some of the information was interesting. It happens, and that's all you want to do. You want to get in front of as many people as possible, and a newsletter, especially a recurring newsletter that people look forward to reading, can be very beneficial. So that's number 3. Number 4 this is something I started doing recently, is to profile different developments or other news around town. So we have our local business journal called Louisville Business First that regularly releases articles about different developments that are taking place around town. What I do is extract the information from those articles and then create a short, compelling post on LinkedIn or my other social platforms with supporting pictures. And I'm telling you, the reach that you can achieve with that is pretty phenomenal, because if you create a short synopsis of what that article entails and use different compelling vocabulary, a lot of people start to like and share and repost those posts, because it's quick and easy to read. And usually when there's new news in town regarding development or any other government incentive or whatever that is, people want to be able to share that good news with other people. And so it is a very shareable type of content. So I would highly encourage you to look into doing something similar for yourself. It can be a very compelling way to be able to get a lot of engagement from people. And again, we just want to become top of mind from people. So when they are looking to buy, sell, or lease commercial property, they think of us first. And that's a good way to start doing that. So that's another thing to do, is to profile developments and other news around town that could be beneficial in the commercial real estate industry. And then finally, the last piece of advice I'll share is to create instructional videos about different processes within commercial real estate. Obviously, I'm doing this commercial real estate FAQ. I started this several years ago, and every Monday I release a video about different things pertaining to the commercial real estate industry. And ever since I've started doing this, I've secured business. I've built myself as a local expert, and I throw this up on different social platforms. And I can tell you definitively that I've walked into people or walked into rooms and had conversations with people that I'd never met in my life that already knew me because of the fact that I start doing these videos. So this is much more of a long tail type of approach, but I would highly recommend that you consider incorporating some form of instructional video content into your day-to-day, because it will make a big difference in your ability to be respected or looked at as a local expert in your market. So hopefully you gain some value from this video. Obviously, we greatly appreciate all the support you guys have shown this channel. Please like and subscribe. It does make a huge difference. Also, I'm a commercial real estate agent in town here in Louisville, Kentucky. I'm licensed in Kentucky and Indiana. So if you're looking to buy, sell, or lease commercial property in Louisville or its surrounding areas, or anywhere really in Kentucky and Indiana, feel free to reach out to me at 502-536-7315, or you can reach me via email at raphael@crescentigroup.com. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you all next time.